Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video we shall discuss the current affairs for 11th May 2022. Yes, delivering the current affairs for 11th May got a little delayed, but yes, we are here, better late than never. Before we begin, the quote of the day. Remember, if you are willing to work hard enough, you can create what others call luck. It has been said by many people and my mother as well. हवाओं की दिशा मुड़ जाएगी, लहरों का direction change हो जाएगा. Everything, the direction of tornadoes and the water will start to flow in the reverse direction provided we are willing to work hard, provided we are willing to give everything what others call as luck, we will convert into our destiny, which is through our hard work. If you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments and shares. Let's start. What we will discuss in this current affairs session is exchange rate, Prime Minister's gifts to the Nordic country heads, wet bulb temperature, a quick update on that, rising bond yields, Charak Oath, rocket propellant grenade, which was hurled at the Mohali Punjab Police Intelligence Unit. Social Media Act, prayers at ASI monuments and tribal development. Let's begin this. The first one is the exchange rate. On Monday, that was 9th of May, we heard that rupee depreciated to the maximum levels that ever were seen. So for purchasal of $1, we would need 77.6 rupee. This is the lowest the rupee has fallen to. This depreciation is the result of a dynamic fluctuation of supply demand of dollar and rupee in the market. So supply demand of dollar and rupee in the market is the one that determines what is the exchange rate in the international market scenario. Now, we all know some updates. For example, we know that there is a crisis in Ukraine. We know that the oil prices have risen because of corona pandemic. We know that there is a supply chain mismanagement because of COVID pandemic all around. We also know that we import a lot of amount of oil. You also know an update that is US Federal, the Reserve Bank of America is due to increasing the interest rates. Now, when all of this is happening, this only means we will have to spend more dollars in the market. How? Simple example. See, when US Federal is hiking the interest rate, that means dollars will go out of India's market. Whatever has been invested here, that is happening. So dollars will fall short for trade. With respect to what? With respect to Indian currency rupee, because abhi to we have not innovated any new products now, but dollar is going out of the market. So supply of dollar is limited, supply of rupee is high. That means, according to this principle, when the supply is more, the depreciation will happen. Uski value nahi rahegi. The value of rupee will be low. So right now, one reason is for falling value of rupee is US Federal hike. Similarly, when we import lot of oil from abroad, and especially during times when we have revived our economy from the pandemic, 8% of growth in comparison to other economies, this is good. So we will have to import more coal, more fuel from abroad. This will need dollars. And when we need dollars, there will be further shortage of dollars and more presence of rupee. Similarly, all the other items that we are importing during these times of crisis, the prices have risen in the export-import market, and therefore the availability of rupee is high as compared. So for whatever we want to import, they will become costlier. Whatever we want to export, that will become cheaper. This question has been asked in UPSC examination, many state PSCs and government examination, and it will keep on repeating till the time concept is clear to everybody. This graph might seem as if things are rising, but no, the actual thing is that it has been inverted. The graph is inverted. There is a fall in the value of rupee, and this is what has see, there are two ways in which rupee can fall or rise, and especially fall. One is depreciation because of the international market dynamics, and the other one is the government purposefully doing it. That is called as devaluation of the currency, which is not allowed these days because it changes the trading dynamics. Now let's quickly look into what is happening around. As explained, the world is a free market economy, and it is only the supply demand of rupee and dollars which changes the level of the exchange rate, right? Over and above, there is something called as balance of payment. We'll understand this quickly. So volatility in international market because of fluctuating international oil prices, federal rate hike. Along with that, RBI's intervention. Yes, let's understand this now. So there's something called as balance of payment that talks about all the money which is utilized in the country, which is in demand. Indian rupee in demand or American dollar in demand with respect to India's economy. That relates to balance of payment. All right, international transactions. This is what it relates to. So it is divided in two parts. One is the current account and the other one is capital account. What happens in current account is we deal with the present year. The present year, what has been traded with India and abroad, or what has been traded from abroad to India. All the transactions are recorded here. So when we trade commodities, merchandise, for which we import more and export less, that is put here. That is a part of trade deficit. See, all the goods that we import and export that are put here. So effectively, we import more goods than we export. So if you see for the month of April to December, we have imported more items than exported. So it is reflected in minus 135 billion dollars. This is what we are spending. Invisible means those kind of trades that are happening but we are not able to see, and this is happening in the current year itself, only this year. So what are they? Services. We export more services, no? World's office. So see, this is in positives. And transfer payments, remittances, those are the ones that are $60 billion. And income, whatever income that we generate or anybody else generate, what is the effective level of it? So if you see, the total of it comes to minus $27 billion. That means here we are in deficit. Current account, we are in deficit. Why? Specifically because we import more goods, we export more services. That is very good. So invisible is trying to balance what we trade, but still we are in loss. So this is the current account. So what is happening here is that we will need more dollars to have covered the trade deficit. On the other hand, there is something called as capital account. This is not that particular year's account. This is an account of the future investments, of the loans taken or loans given. So in capital account, if you see, in the same period, April to December 2021, there were more foreign investments in the country in the form of FDI and FPI. See, with FPI, the thing is, a foreign direct investment are investments, long-term investments. Some, for example, Japan is investing in Delhi Metro Rail. Japan is investing in industrial projects. China is participating in some particular land development projects. Those are FDIs. Foreign portfolio investment is investment through the help of stock market at short-term investment, and the money can be withdrawn very quickly. So FPI investment have decreased in the country, and that is why you are seeing the fall in the markets around. So FPI outflow has happened. However, FDI inflow has happened. As a developing destination, India has seen more FDI. Similarly, if you look at the other form of entries, most of it are in terms of external assistance which India may have given to other countries, so credit for India, or borrowings and other items. All of this, if you total all of this, this leads to a level of surplus, capital account surplus, because items, dollars have inpoured in the economy more than outpoured. And when the present year and the future finances, all of them which have been sent to India or sent abroad from India, if you do the calculation, net around $60 billion is extra inflow in the economy. Billion dollars, these are dollar currency. So what RBI does for extra inflow of dollars, will it not hamper the rupee dollar exchange rate? It will. Now I'm speaking of the times of April, December. That time was different as compared to this time, 2022. 6 months and things have changed a lot. So during these times when inflow of a lot of currency was happening, the Forex was increasing. And this was the time I had done the current affairs where I showed that there is an increase in Forex. $600 billion we touched once, and we moved ahead also. Have a look. So we touched $600 billion. Because India is an emerging market, more money will come to it. Because everybody sees profit in doing trade with an emerging economy. And when you see the other countries which have got good amount of Forex reserves, foreign exchange reserves, China tops the list, almost 5 times what we have, $3 trillion. And then is Japan, almost 2 times what we have, Switzerland, Russia and India. These Russian Forex exchange reserves only are the ones which America has frozen. It says you can't use this. So Russia is very unhappy about this. All right. So India's foreign exchange reserves rose to around $650 billion. If you could see in this particular graph, 630 it rose. February 18, 2022. It also rose to 640 by September. But slowly and steadily, it did slide down as well. The latest news is that the foreign exchange reserves with RBI has gone well below around $597 billion. Why is it happening? It is happening because now the dollar percentage is low in the market and the rupee is more. Earlier, those times were the times when there was more of dollars. So RBI was pumping in more money in the market. That also led to inflation. That led to the growth of economy as well, but led to inflation also. But right now RBI is contracting the economy. So this phenomena keeps happening. If RBI does not intervene, then the economy will swing a lot and it will lead to dynamic changes. It will lead to stability, but then very lot of oscillations in the pendulum. But with RBI's interference, the fluctuations are less. So when you see RBI's total foreign exchange reserves, they are in the form of foreign currency assets, FCAs, see $540 billion plus. Along with that, there are other forms in which the government, RBI, keeps foreign exchange gold, special drawing rights, and then we have reserve tranche position, some reserve currency kept by the central bank, 25% of the total reserve that is mandated with the help of IMF. So this is how the reserves are calculated in the country. All right, I hope that this item is clear. These questions have been asked time and again, so you must be clear. That's why I discussed in little details. The second one is Prime Minister's gift to the Nordic country members. So let's understand, and then we will also understand what the Nordic countries are special about. So Denmark, Prime Minister visited these the India Nordic partnership, the second meeting of this in Europe, and when he visited here, he gifted some items to the dignitaries. So first of all, the Crown Prince of Denmark. Denmark is a kingdom, democratic kingdom. So the Crown Prince, matlab hone wala Raja, right? His mother, Abhi Rani, and Bahu, the princess, he gifted some items to each of them, and these are of cultural relevance for our country. We don't know what can be asked. Let's discuss this then quickly. So he gifted the Dokra boat, which is famous in Chhattisgarh area, tribal areas of India, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and he gifted a small memento of this. Now, what is the Dokra boat? This is a non-ferrous metal, and it is cast. It is cast using the lost wax technique, right? And people in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh still use this boat to be able to travel from one place to another, right? So bronze boat example are created. Let's understand how this boat is created. So this is lost wax technique in which the mold is prepared with the help of wax. Mold means the whole framework. So when you see an apple here, the mold would be prepared with the help of wax, and then further the metal or any item from which the item has to be created, that will be poured inside. So the mound will help the item to take a shape, and after that the whole thing will be immersed in water so that it solidifies, and later on with the help of heat the wax will melt, and when it melts, what remains is the item. So this is the lost wax technique. You can see the image here. The mold is created, the actual item is prepared, the cover is of wax itself, and after the item is prepared, it is put inside liquid so that it completely solidifies, then heated, and this is in the heat the wax loses, and that's how this mold is created. So this is how the boats used to be created and are still being used. Importance of cultural relevance for the country. Dokra boats. Second one is रोगन. तो मम्मी जी को इन्होंने दिया है, रानी जो the queen of Denmark is given Rogan painting from Gujarat. Rogan paintings are very popular, but then lost art again, because only one family in Gujarat is now practicing this art. Now Rogan ideally means varnish or oil. So hot oil is used and how does it created? It gets created with the help of boiled oil or vegetable dyes. So hot oil is created, and that is used on this on the textile, on the clothes. So have a look. This is how the whole color is put on the particular craft. So you can see either it is metal block printing, or utilizing this particular technique to be able to spray the color on this particular item. So this is Rogan painting, right, from Gujarat. The third one is silver Meenakari. Now this is Meenakari is an art form which is popular from Persia, from Iran. India also uses it, and in particular Varanasi has got a different tinge to this art. They put pink color, they use pink color in specific on this art. So what is done is that on a metal frame, a thin layer of an item is fixed. So silver sheet, a metal frame is prepared. For example, a bird has to be prepared, a metal frame is prepared. Over and above, the sheet of silver is put on this, and it is beaten. It is beaten so that the sheet also takes the shape, and above this the painting is done. And on that the semi-precious and precious stones are put. This has been gifted to the not the first lady, but the princess of Denmark. अब इनको मिल गया तो the Prime Minister of Denmark also must receive something, na? So they also got something. What did they get? They got this embroidery, Kutch embroidery. So 2 items from Gujarat. Kutch embroidery has been given to the Prime Minister of Denmark. And what is special about is this, that this shines very much when the small particles of shiny glass pieces called abla are sewn over this, right? So very, very popular in Gujarat, and in India. So this is called as Abla, and embroidery textiles from Kutch. All right, Finland, the Prime Minister of Finland also got something, the Tree of Life. He got this Tree of Life, which is a bronze, I think bronze, small showpiece given to him from created in Rajasthan. Sweden Prime Minister also got Pashmina shawls, lady. So she got Pashmina shawls. Now, what about Pashmina shawls is that they are produced from the Changpa communities, Changpa tribes in Ladakh region. Their goats, these goats are popular as Pashmina goats or the Changpa goats. They are endangered also because of climate change, and these goats are used to create these kind of fur shawls. All right, so update from all these places are done. But then there was an important thing to discuss. Yes, do you know the difference between the Nordic countries, the Scandinavian countries, and the Baltic countries? There is a small difference. I don't know if this question can be asked, but this deserves an attention. Now see, the Nordic countries are the five popular countries in this region: Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. All these 5 countries. Denmark part of the mainland, also some part here located in Faroe Island. Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland. Iceland also has got a part in the huge landmass of Greenland. So these are the 5 parts. All right, 5 parts of the Nordic nations. Now this is where the Prime Minister went to attend the summit. And the Scandinavian countries are part of the Nordic countries. The 3 countries here, Norway, Sweden, Finland, they are Scandinavian countries. When you look at Baltic countries, see, this part is called as the Baltic Sea. This is the North Sea. So Baltic countries, these are the 3 Baltic countries. The erstwhile part of the USSR, they are Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. And just below that, there is a small piece of land. This is a Russian piece of land. So Russia does not directly link to its mainland. There is a very popular city known, you should type down in the comment section the name of that popular city, Russian city, which is a very important cultural heritage site for Russia. Okay, bond yield. We'll discuss this tomorrow as well because this is in news. The next is Charak Shapath. We discussed Charak Shapath, which was a mandate of the government. It said that we'd replace the Hippocratic Oath with Charak Shapath. But it is in controversy in Tamil Nadu because one particular place, the dean asked the students to take this the Charak Shapath, and this was then later rebuked by the Chief Minister of the state, saying, and in news are a couple of things about this. One is that the language Sanskrit, not popularly spoken by the people, so it has been opposed by people. This is one. The second is there are certain parts of the oath which are not popular. For example, a female must accompany another male of their known to be able to see a doctor. So these are the kind of old thoughts and not very, very contemporary in nature, so opposed. And also the treatment to be meted by the doctor to a person will be done only if the person has not done something against the law, something against the state. Now this is again something which the modern oaths would not adhere to, because their religion is to protect the life of the person, even if they are a thief or a burglar. All right, Charak Shapath in question. RPG, it was hurled at Mohali. You would have heard that RPG was rocket propelled grenade was hurled at the intelligence center of Punjab Police in Mohali. So some investigation underway, but then I got to know something new. Rocket propelled grenade is not the actual name. The name is, if you can read out all this, this is the USSR created weaponry system, handheld weaponry system, which would have a grenade which would be propelled with the help of rocket. So it can be launched at a very short distance, 200 to 250 meters as well. So it has been created as a very popular utility item during civil wars, during international warfare, available easily in the international market. Now, so small distances, and that's how it was hurled here as well. Now, wherever the nations want to use deniability of weapons, see the weapons which have been created by China, by Russia, by Pakistan, by Israel, we know that. But then wherever the countries do not want to represent their own weapons and still want to forge an attack in another nation or have a civil war, they use these kind of weaponries, which is easily available in the market. So that is what is known about this device. All right, USSR regime device, handheld anti-tank, anti-personal device. Social Media Act. India is going to initiate its sole social media act on the lines of the Digital Services Act. We discussed this act of Europe a few days back. India will also initiate an act, and this will be a modification in the present IT Act. IT Act might get repealed, and on the lines of the Digital Service Act, we will also have an act. This act will have more rights for individuals. For example, the privacy rights will be introduced, more liability against social media companies, intermediary companies like Google,